So as you all know, my job as a physiotherapist involves me interacting with people from a wide range of backgrounds, all with different views and interests. And even within the physiotherapy world, the area of pain management, which is my speciality, is seen as the area where you require the most people skills. And this can make the job challenging if you don't know how to get along with people or, make people like you. Fortunately, something I realised quite early in my career is that the more you can get someone to like you, the more likely they are to take on board what you're saying, and the stronger relationship you're likely to have with that person. I've recently read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and it fits in with a lot of my own kind of strategies that I use to communicate with people. So I decided to make a video on how to communicate to get people to like you. I whacked a clickbait title onto it, and we're going to go through 6 ways in which you can get people to like you by becoming a better communicator. So here we go. People don't like to be told they're wrong because they take it personally and it puts them on the defensive. People also hold grudges against those who criticise them. So rather than criticising, try praising. You can often achieve more by praising someone than criticising them. And really, by criticising someone, are you really getting them to change, or are you just driving a wedge between you and them? If you have a dog, this one's an easy one to understand. What's the first thing you see when you come home after work? A happy, bounding dog who's pleased to see you. How does this make you feel? Now, I'm not saying that you should get down on all fours and start barking at anyone who comes past you, but maybe try shifting the focus on the other person rather than yourself. People usually like talking about themselves, so taking an interest in their life, greeting them enthusiastically, and using their name a lot often demonstrates that you're happy to be in their company, and that's a really good way of getting someone to like you. We all value good listeners, but they are in very short supply. As I said before, we all like to talk about ourselves, but nobody likes someone who monopolises a conversation. So try taking the opposite approach and invite people to talk about their interests and themselves and listen attentively. Try asking open-ended questions that people enjoy answering and show them your undivided attention. If you win an argument forcefully, your opponent will grow to resent you. And if they resent you, they'll never agree with you. And in a full-blown argument, there is really never a true winner. So never say to someone that you're wrong, because this will put them on the defensive and they're less likely to see your point of view. And arguments don't need to be won by force. So instead of trying to win an argument by force, inquire genuinely and acknowledge the possibility that you might be wrong before you go into exploring the facts. And of course, if you are found to be right, don't rub it in your opponent's face, because they are just less likely to accept a new opinion if you humiliate them. And of course, if you're found to be wrong, just admit that you're wrong. Trying to see something from another person's perspective can involve sympathising with that person and showing your understanding of the challenges that they're facing. This can help resolve difficult situations, as people do appreciate sympathy. A simple, I completely understand where you're coming from. If I was in your situation, I'd feel exactly the same, can be a really, really good way of strengthening relationships with people and winning them over. This can help manage our own frustrations and also help us to become more tolerant of people's behaviours and situations. But one thing I do want to say here is that extending sympathy is not always easy. It does take a little bit of practice to do, and a lot of the time it won't come naturally. So, ease into it, start off slowly with this, start off with people who are close to you, because it is a bit of an art and it does take a lot of time to be able to develop sympathy for people and also to be able to express that sympathy as well. So the last one is a really useful one if you are trying to motivate people, whether that's at work or your own family or your friends. So something that you can use casually to get people to like you, but also a really good way of motivating your peers around you. So as humans, we love praise and we hate to disappoint anyone who believes in us. So if you want someone to develop a certain characteristic, speak to them as if they already possess that characteristic. For example, if you'd like your friend or your partner to listen more to you, then praise them for a time when they did show good listening skills. Set up an identity for them as a caring person who listens to your concerns. Praising other people and letting them know that you appreciate them is a lovely thing to do anyway, but it also encourages them to try just as hard in the future as well, and can help them show that characteristic that you'd like them to. This is not just good for your own relationships, but it actually is quite good for that other person going forwards as well, as it may help them to become a better person. So guys, those were 6 quick ways that you can use to help people to get to like you. Now, as I mentioned before at the beginning of this video, check out the link in the description to that book that I mentioned. It is a really, really good read, and I would recommend anyone who's looking to improve their own communication skills giving that a read. Of course, like always, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel and turn on that notification button so you get a little ding every time I post a new video. Please also tell your friends about this video, perhaps even friends that you would like to have stronger relationships with but are struggling with communication. It might be a little subtle nudge for them to have a look at this video and maybe look at ways that you can improve your relationships and for both of you to improve your communication skills. For the next video, I suggest looking at this one here, as this will be a really good follow-on from today's video, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.